Imagine a land where your identity, your livelihood, even your very survival were deeply intertwined with the land you possessed. This land was not just a piece of earth. It was a living, breathing part of your existence, a testament to your heritage and a promise for your future. For the Israelites, this was more than just a concept. It was a way of life. Their connection to the land was sacred, a divine gift that shaped their daily lives, their culture and their faith. Their society was structured around 12 tribes, each descended from one of the sons of Jacob, also known as Israel. These tribes formed the backbone of their social and political organization, each tribe carrying its own unique identity and traditions. These tribes weren't merely familial groups. They were distinct entities, each with its own territory allotted by God himself. This divine allocation was a cornerstone of their belief system, a physical manifestation of their covenant with God. This division of land, meticulously described in the biblical book of Joshua, wasn't arbitrary. It was a carefully planned distribution that ensured each tribe had the resources and space needed to thrive. It represented God's covenant with his chosen people, a promise of security and prosperity as long as they remained faithful. This covenant was not just a spiritual agreement but a practical one, providing a framework for social stability and economic sustainability. This system ensured that each family had a stake in the land, a tangible connection to their heritage, and a source of sustenance. The land was their lifeline, providing food, shelter, and a sense of belonging. Land ownership wasn't just about wealth. It was about belonging, about participating in the divine promise made to their forefathers. It was a symbol of their identity and their place in the grand narrative of their people. This system, however, relied on a clear line of inheritance, typically passing from father to son. This patrilineal system was designed to maintain the stability and continuity of the tribal boundaries. This ensured the stability of the tribal boundaries and, by extension, the covenant itself. The boundaries were not just physical markers, but symbols of divine order and justice. Yet, what happened when a man died without a son? This posed a significant challenge to the established system, threatening the stability of the tribal inheritance in the divine covenant. This question forms the crux of our story, a story that would challenge traditional inheritance laws and redefine the rights of women in ancient Israel. It was a pivotal moment that would test the flexibility and fairness of their legal system. This intricate system of land distribution and inheritance wasn't without its challenges. Disputes and dilemmas were inevitable, requiring wisdom and divine guidance to resolve. The story of Zelophehad's daughters highlights the complexities that arose when life didn't fit neatly into pre-established categories. These women stood at the crossroads of tradition and change, their plight a catalyst for legal and social reform. Their case would force Moses, the lawgiver himself, to seek divine guidance and issue a ruling with far-reaching consequences. This ruling would not only address their immediate situation, but also set a precedent for future generations, ensuring that justice and equity were upheld in the land of Israel. Enter the daughters of Zelophehad, Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. These 5 sisters found themselves in a predicament. Their father, Zelophehad, a man from the tribe of Manasseh, had died during the Israelites' 40-year sojourn in the wilderness. He had committed no sin worthy of such a fate, leaving his daughters without a male heir to inherit his property upon entering the Promised Land. In a society where land ownership equated to social standing and economic security, the daughters faced a bleak future. With no brother to inherit their father's land, their inheritance would revert to their tribe, leaving them vulnerable and potentially destitute. The daughters, however, refused to accept this fate passively. These women, though grieving their father, displayed remarkable courage and conviction. They understood the gravity of their situation, yet they also recognized the inherent injustice of being denied their rightful inheritance simply because they were women. This wasn't just about land. It was about their right to participate fully in the covenant community, to be recognized as equal heirs to the promise made to their ancestors. Their bold decision to petition Moses directly speaks volumes about their character and their unwavering belief in the justice of their cause. They dared to challenge the status quo, to appeal to a higher authority for a more equitable interpretation of the law. The stage was set for a landmark decision that would reverberate through generations. The journey to approach Moses was not just a physical one, but a symbolic act of defiance and hope. They traversed the harsh wilderness, driven by a sense of purpose and a vision of justice. Upon reaching Moses, they presented their case with clarity and conviction, articulating their plight and the broader implications for women in their society. Moses, recognizing the validity of their argument, took their case before God. In a divine response, God affirmed the daughters' right to inherit, setting a precedent that would alter the course of inheritance laws. This decision was not just a personal victory for the daughters of Zelophehad, but a monumental step forward for women's rights in their community. The laws were amended to ensure that daughters could inherit if there were no sons, embedding this newfound equity into the fabric of their society. The story of Zelophehad's daughters became a powerful narrative, passed down through generations as a testament to courage, justice, and the relentless pursuit of equality. Even today, their legacy inspires movements for gender equality and justice, reminding us that the fight for fairness is timeless and universal. The daughters of Zelophehad stand as enduring symbols of resilience and the transformative power of standing up for one's rights. Their story bridges the ancient and the modern, showing us that the quest for justice transcends time and place. As we reflect on their journey, we are reminded that every step towards justice, no matter how small, contributes to a larger, more equitable world. Faced with this unprecedented dilemma, Moses didn't rely on his own judgment. He understood the gravity of the situation and the potential consequences of his decision. This was not just a simple matter of inheritance. It was a question that could reshape societal norms and set a precedent for future generations. He took the daughters' petition directly to God, acknowledging the weight of their request and the potential impact of his decision. Moses sought divine guidance, knowing that only a decree from the Lord could provide the wisdom and authority needed to address such a significant issue. The Lord's response was clear and unequivocal. The daughters of Zelophehad were indeed entitled to inherit their father's land. This divine message was not just a ruling, it was a powerful affirmation of justice and equity, transcending the traditional boundaries of gender roles in ancient society. This divine decree wasn't merely a matter of legal technicality. It represented a significant shift in perspective. It was a declaration that the rights of individuals, regardless of gender, were to be recognized and respected. This ruling was a monumental step towards a more inclusive and just society. The daughters' claim to their father's inheritance wasn't based on their gender, but on their lineage. They were rightful heirs because they were direct descendants of Zelophehad, and their claim was rooted in their family heritage and bloodline. They were, after all, direct descendants of Zelophehad and rightful heirs to his portion of the Promised Land. This acknowledgement of their rightful place in the family lineage was a profound statement about the importance of family and heritage in ancient Israelite society. This divine ruling established a crucial precedent. In cases where there was no male heir, daughters could inherit their father's property, ensuring the continuity of the family line and preventing the fragmentation of tribal lands. This was a groundbreaking development that safeguarded the stability and unity of the tribes. This decision had profound implications for the social fabric of Israelite society, challenging deeply ingrained patriarchal norms and acknowledging the rights of women in a way that was unprecedented in the ancient world. It was a transformative moment that began to shift the societal landscape towards greater gender equality. The story, however, doesn't end there. The implications of this ruling extended far beyond the immediate context, influencing future generations and shaping the legal and social structures of the Israelite community. Recognizing the potential complications of this new ruling, God also provided additional instructions through Moses. These guidelines were designed to address any potential issues that might arise from this new precedent, ensuring that the integrity of the tribal system was maintained. These instructions, while seemingly restrictive, were intended to maintain the integrity of the tribal system and prevent future disputes over land ownership. They were a necessary measure to balance the newfound rights of women with the traditional structures of tribal inheritance, ensuring harmony and stability within the community. To prevent the potential disruption of tribal boundaries, God decreed that the daughters of Zelophehad, and indeed any woman inheriting land in this manner, must marry within their own tribe. This stipulation ensured that land remained within the designated tribal territories, preserving the social and economic order established by God. Marriage in ancient Israel wasn't merely a personal affair, it was a social contract with significant economic implications. By marrying within their tribe, the daughters of Zelophehad guaranteed that their inheritance, and by extension their father's legacy, would remain within the tribe of Manasseh. This stipulation highlights the importance placed on tribal identity and the preservation of ancestral lands. It also reveals a pragmatic understanding of the potential for conflict and instability if land were allowed to be transferred between tribes through marriage. The divine decree aimed to strike a balance between individual rights and the collective good of the community. This commandment, while seemingly restrictive from a modern perspective, served a vital purpose in maintaining social cohesion and preventing disputes over land ownership. It ensured the integrity of the tribal system and, by extension, the covenant God had made with his people.